Hello and welcome to another Mediumship Mini with me, Hannah Medium. And today I've got a question from the gorgeous soul that is Susie Black. And Susie says, first of all, she's congratulating me for taking a holiday. Oh, that means I'm really up to date with the questions. Woo! Yes, thank you. I did have a great time. So, my question for you today, or whenever this comes up, is what technique, if any, do you use to disconnect after a reading? I've heard you say that sometimes it takes you a day or so to regather your energy after a big demonstration. I've heard others describe this as psychic flu. But on an emotional level, I find it takes me a while to cut the cord, so to speak, after a reading. Any advice or tips would be hugely appreciated. I have never struggled with this, Susie, and I don't know if it's just because I'm a rather cold fish or if it's just natural to me. So I do think about the sitters a lot after a reading, and I have to be careful not to allow that to impact my day-to-day life. But I don't really struggle with separating from the spirit world. And I think that's because in my mind, the spirit world are very, very intelligent. They know the job is done. They step back. It's done. It's all taken care of. And so I think one of the weird things is if you start trying to seek if they're still there, you will still feel them because we're all connected all the time to spirit. So say, for example, in a morning, if you do a link for a grandfather and then at 3:00 that afternoon, you're still thinking about it because your humanness is processing it and your humanness is integrating the lessons that you have learnt from that reading. And then you think, oh, I wonder if he's still there. And you sort of send that thought out. You will still feel him, but it doesn't mean he's there communicating with you. He's there because they're all there all the time. There is no separation. So it might just be a case of that. Equally, when it comes to sitters, they're the ones, because I know the spirit world are okay. It's the sitters. It's the girl that I read for once whose boyfriend had gone to a corner shop and been shot when he'd gone out to get milk, and all of her family were in spirit and she was just completely alone. They're the ones that I stay sort of more connected to because I think about them. My humanness thinks about them. I wonder how they are. I wonder if they're okay. I wonder if they manage to keep going. And as with all things, it's all like a web, isn't it, of energy. So I've got a connection to her and I think about her, and that is probably a very disempowering, sympathetic way of thinking about her rather than the spiritual path, which it is. She signed up for this. It's her soul's growth. She will be okay. But equally, you have connections in energy to your postman when you open the front door to him, and to the lady who does your shopping at Aldi, and the person you beeped your horn at on the school run. So we are always making energetic connections, and it's just about letting them go, really. And I think it's easier when they don't have an emotional response to them. I don't stay connected to my postman because I've signed for the parcel. He's a nice man. I've shut the door, slammed it. That's it, done. Disconnect. Whereas when it's a reading, you're sort of thinking about how you did, if you did well, if it was okay, that kind of thing. And that can sometimes keep that connection going. One of the great things to do when you're developing is to call spirit back in after a reading. I don't know if you ever do this, and ask them what you could have done differently or better. And that's always quite interesting because you could say, what did I miss? How was it? And in that sort of calling in, you can then feel like you've got the finality to it. You've done everything that you needed to do and you can now let it go, and that might help you. But I have to be honest here and say that it's mindset. I don't do a disconnection process because in my mind the reading is finished, we are disconnected, so I don't have an issue with that. If you're feeling like you're still connected to them, you need to do some sort of visualisation to make yourself feel disconnected from them, because what we think we attract. So if you're thinking you're still connected, you are creating an attachment, a connection to them. So what you need to do is imagine it like a cord and snip it, or imagine your energy closing off, or set your intention, whatever works best for you. But the spirit world will never hang around holding on to a connection with you that wouldn't serve a purpose or help you, and would in fact drain your energy. So I hope that helps and gives you the information you need. Thank you for asking a question, Susie. Take care.